Welcome, welcome, welcome on a fantastic Friday, on a fabulous Friday. And my earlier clips, they were a friendship Friday. So all of the above, and I thank you all for coming in. And I had attempted to actually do my thumbnail and the whole nine, so I'm not sure what y'all are seeing on your end, but just let me know. I do want to have this discussion. I welcome anybody and everybody to come on up. I think I dropped the link. Let me see if y'all see it. Just bear with me here because I did some other stuff to try to get ready for it, but I want to make sure that the link is in. Hold on one second. It's not looking like it is, so I do apologize. Let me see if I can get that cursor in my live. And if not, maybe it's meant that, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm not supposed to uh, have it up in here. Who knows? But let me get it up in here anyway. Just in case. I can write that down for us. But this particular subject is kind of near and dear to my heart because as a Black woman, uh, it's interesting to hear how many Black men blame Black women for their demise, and it saddens my soul because it interrupts us being able to heal um, as a specific gender, along with being able to heal as a collective, because that's what we're going to have to do in order to break this matrix that was designed from the oppressors, and to get back to that Florida Evans and James Evans love, right? But I saw some things on social media recently that I thought we have to really address the elephant in the room. We really have to address the blame game that we continue to have. And when I say we, I mean Black men. I haven't heard as many Black women with the vitriol against Black men. I've heard some, and I've mentioned that, and it saddens me because that I can feel there. I'm an empath. I can feel that is coming from a hurt place. That some black man hurt them, and they believe all Black men like that. That's my spirit because that ain't who we are. You know what I'm saying? That is not who we are at all. Uh, let me see if I was able to send the comment. Let me know if y'all can see that. Just give me a little check or whatever the case may be, so I know that I got it right. But I did write down some things because I did want us to kind of discuss it, and I wanted to give you the opportunity to come up and respectfully express how you felt about it as well. Uh, and what I have shown, there it is, and what I have seen is the algorithm driven social media. The content thrives on the division, it thrives on the gender wars and the finger pointing. As long as Black men and Black women are blaming each other, people out of nowhere just come and get onto their timeline. And unfortunately, when that happens, um, a lot of people see dollar signs and they capitalize on the division, the dissension, the finger pointing at one another. And it doesn't help us to heal, y'all. It only keeps us more divided and divisive. And that's what the powers that be actually want, right? And we're giving them what they want because they understand that if we continue to be divided, then we cannot collectively overpower them because there are power in numbers. They understand that. That's why they continue to distract us. And what we have to do is kind of break the matrix. So that's kind of what this live is about. It's not necessarily a venting session or meant to be an attack on Black women. It is more of a space for self reflection. right? Over here, ones fear us, they fear one us, they fear us being able to come in a safe platform in an environment where we can actually discuss our differences and why we kind of view things differently and what prevents us from collectively, authentically reestablishing healthy relationships without blaming the other side for personal or collective struggle. That's the core question that I am posing today regarding Black men and Black women. Uh, is there ever come a time where Black women aren't blamed for the demise of Black men, either personally or collectively? And if the answer is no, I can accept that. I don't necessarily expect that, but I can accept that and allow Black women to just live their lives without the critique. Because you don't have to do both. If you don't want to be with Black women, you don't have to dog Black women out along the way. You can literally make your choices and you can go on by your day to day lives, right? And so that's kind of where I wanted to open up my StreamYard so that we can have that kind of discussion, that open discussion that needs to be discussed. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Is it, again, possible to have a healthy relationship without blaming the other side for personal or collective struggles? We have to, in a sense, deconstruct the blame pillar. We have to deconstruct the defensiveness versus accountability. We have to discuss how projecting past relationship trauma or societal frustrations onto a current partner ruins potential connections. We have to break down the idea that one gender is entirely responsible for the systemic issues that we can. Oh, I sound muffled, L Boogie. Thank you so much for coming in. Happy Friday. What about now? Can you hear me a little bit better now? I'm telling you, I can be in the same spot in my spot and it's muffled. What about now? Give me a one if you can, if it's sounding a little bit better, L Boogie, and I'll stay in that spot. But we also have to break, like I was saying earlier, we have to break down. I came to like, I'm commuting. I need to charge my phone. Okay, you can hear me. Well, be safe. Please be safe. And you can definitely keep me company much better. What about, I want the best. What about now? Is I moved a little bit closer. Is it even better? Be safe on your journey. And listen, I'm telling you, when I get where I'm getting to, El Boogie, I got you. Because you have been truly a, like, I hate to use the word diehard, but you have really been a consistent, dedicated supporter. Even when you don't have time or you're doing X, Y, Z, you see me on or see a video or whatever content I've uploaded, you come by and give me a like. I cannot tell you how grateful I am for that support. And again, when I get to where I'm getting to, I got you. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause it's the little things to me. And I say that because uh, other ones that have, more flexibility and whatnot, they have not. And looking back now, I understand why they have not. So without saying any names or whatever, I appreciate you for being consistent. I am a Taurus, so consistency is key for me. And again, you have shown me much love and much support. And again, I appreciate it. Um, Let's see. So let me get back before because I got to give you your flowers, but I know you're commuting and I don't want you typing. I just want you to focus on, getting to your destination um, safely. Oh, I got you. Yes, your support is truly authentic and I can feel it. Because again, I'm not religious, I'm more spiritual, I'm more of an empath, and I can feel it every time you come through. It's some type of goodness. You understand? And I can say that about you in particular. Um, you and another ally that I've had for years. I want to say, gosh, since 2020 something. You too. I got to check on her because I haven't seen her in a minute. But you two have been so consistent over the years in the midst of what you have had going on, to let me know, hey, what I'm saying, other people might not want to be part of the Syrian movement, but hey, I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you care about our people and you want the best for us. And I do. I'm like Issa Rae, I want us all to win, especially black women, because I'm a black woman. So of course I'm gonna want me to win and people that look like me, okay? With that being said, um, I do challenge, any of the audiences coming in to kind of do a self check and ask ourselves, what are we bringing to the table emotionally, financially, and spiritually? And if we can't uh, answer that with some goodness, like we want to bring love, we want to bring stability, we want to bring loyalty, we want to bring encouragement, support. We can't talk about that, even financially, especially black men who want to be the kings and the leaders. In order for you to lead, you have to have resources. Because, with all due respect, black women can lead themselves to their one room hut, right? But when black men especially speak of y'all need to be following our lead, you all have to have a place to go, like a physical place to go, so the woman can follow you. That's not a woman thing. That's not a white man thing. That's a black man thing. And that's what I mean. It's not about blaming. It's saying if you want to be called that leader, if you want to be called that king, then do kingly things and step up to your kingdom. And that includes supporting your black women. That includes being respectful of your black women, your helpmate. That includes uh, showing value to your black woman, your black helpmate. Again, people that know me, I'll tell you, anybody that knows me, I'll tell them in a quick, skinny minute that I am not religious, I'm more spiritual. However, there are some scriptures in the Bible and even the King James Version, the white man's version, that I do believe in. And Proverbs 18:22 is one of them. I do believe that when a man finds a wife, he finds good thing and favor in the Lord. I do. Because when you find a good thing, you have found a gift from God because we are goddesses and we should be treated as such. And when you are blessed to have one that is a virtuous queen, that is a loving queen, a nurturing queen, then you need to appreciate her. And that's how you show your reverence to the Creator because the Creator blessed you with basically a drop of their goodness, which is the black woman. And this is just a sidebar, but if LB, if you can hear this, I'm learning. I've been doing some research, girl, and I'm gonna do a whole different video on this, like a video. But through research, I have discovered. Let me see how I can say this. Jesus. That is the King James version because biblically before that version, it was written IESUS. Now, that translates to Isis. Isis, as we know, was a goddess. The Egyptian translation from Isis is Aset. So, research is showing me that there has been kind of a spiritual destiny swap, if you will, that before the paleface took over the original writings and changed it and altered it for their benefit, i.e., slavery and taking tithes from the poor people, it was actually Isis, which is ISIS, which is us, which makes sense when you look at the Black Mary that's portrayed in a lot of those portraits, even in the Vatican, even in Russia. There is a black Mary and a black Jesus. I'm just saying that's neither here nor, I mean, it's not neither here nor there, but El Boogie, that was powerful for me because over my spiritual nomadic journey, I always wondered kind of when I heard ISIS, the word ISIS, it resonated in my spirit. And I'm just thinking kind of surface on the surface that it was because she, she is a goddess, right? Yeah, a Kush goddess, if you will, not thinking anything deeper. But yes, I just ran across some information. I want to say the earlier part of this week that I'm like, oh my gosh, that makes sense. And it also makes sense why the black woman has continued to be the most oppressed, underprotected, disrespected uh, demographic since really the beginning of time. Because according to the word, they're not supposed to like Yahshua, who's in essence Isis, who's in essence the melanated goddess. Hmm. We're gonna delve into that a little bit later. But let's get back to um, basically the algorithm-driven social media content thrives on the division, the gender wars, and the finger pointing. And a few of our black men on cyberspace have taken the reign and they are using it not only for financial gain, but to project a lot of their personal grievances with uh, the relationships that didn't go quite right in their lives. And they are using that as a collective, if you will, to blame all black women. And that's where the issue comes with me, where they shouldn't feel so emboldened to blame every black woman for the black women that the relationships did not work in their personal lives. So we're going to address that as well. Um, and we're going to again discuss how projecting on those past relationship traumas or their societal frustrations hinders a potential connection with um, a spiritual driven, God fearing melanated sister. We're also going to talk about um, what can we do to redefine the assets, the qualities that we can bring to a healthy relationship with black men for black women and black women for black men. What does that look like, right? Um, what needs to go right um, with what's going on and what we are reflecting in our behaviors towards each other. I would like, any input for a black woman or a black man to come up to on the platform and share with us uh, what your uh, perception or idea of a healthy relationship is, or healthy relationship dynamic looks like. Because sometimes, y'all, first and foremost, if we don't define what we're looking for with each other, then we're already starting off on the wrong foot. Like for black women, if you're not hearing from the man when you're on a date, if you ask him to find a healthy relationship dynamic, if you're not hearing emotional safety or active listening or mutual respect, then there should be red flags because those are just kind of simple. Those are some of the basics. That if your black man is not saying that, then that's a red flag, right? And same thing with black men. When you ask a black woman, what are some of the healthy relationship dynamics? What does it look like? And they're not able to say, emotional safety, active listening, or mutual respect. That's a red flag for you as well, because most women that I know, we actually we want to have the active listening that's reciprocal. We want to have the mutual respect between each other. And we want to have and deserve to have the emotional safety where we both can be vulnerable with one another, that it is not taken as a weakness, which kind of goes to removing the scapegoat in true partnership. And it requires dropping the defense mechanism or treating each other and, excuse me, and treating each other as teammates and not adversaries, which that tends to be the case again between black men and black women. And no, we don't want that. We've had enough of that. And that's not who we are about, black men and black women. It is about us being collaborative, about us sharing, because sharing is caring. It is not about divisiveness or dissension or uh, any type of discourse or vitriol. We're better than that. And when we're able to have these kind of conversations, black men and black women, we want to define kind of what does healthy look like. And a lot of black men in particular have an issue with vulnerability. They look at that as a weakness. And that's unfortunate because the more vulnerable you are, the more safe, believe it or not, black women feel with you because we look at vulnerability as a strength and you all look at it as a weakness. So with that issue, that challenge within itself can lead to discourse in your relationship. How do you expect us to feel emotionally safe with you when you do not or you refuse to be emotionally safe with us or to demonstrate that? Reciprocity is key with that. So if you want us to show that or demonstrate that, set the tone by your actions. Because we all know for every action, there's a reaction. And this is no different. So I do, implore Black men to understand the importance of safe spaces for Black women without fear of judgment and weaponizing it as a weakness. Uh, I know that's at this point because there's so much fragility, there's so much of a divisiveness that that's a hard thing for some black men to wrap their heads around. But what's your alternative? To continue the blame game? We don't have time for us to continue to blame each other. What we have to focus on is reestablishing healthy relationships within the gender, meaning black men helping other black men heal, and black women helping other black women heal. Once we're both able to do that separately, then we can both come back together collectively and rebuild our village the way it was established before the interruption with the pale face, Eurocentric, Neanderthalic group, right? We allowed them to dictate how we continue to treat each other. And y'all, I'm gonna keep it real with you. We are better than that. They don't deserve all that. And this is what I will say to black men. And I'm going off script a little bit, but what I've noticed in the last maybe 7+ years, black women, not saying they're giving up on you, but they're giving up on you. They're not wanting to wait anymore for you to actually step up into your kingdom and establish yourself as the leaders that you've been designed to be. They are tapping into their woman king, like Viola Davis on the Woman King, and they're saying, with or without you, we are going to rebuild our uh, our tribe, if you will. We're going to rebuild our own place, and you're not going to be welcome. And black man, I'm gonna keep it real with you. You shouldn't want to be welcome. Okay, you should not, because you ain't done nothing to get to it. This is no longer where black women are basically saying because you black, you can come on in. They've stepped up their expectations and their standards, and which they should, black man. When you think about it, they I think if anything, and I say this to Black women in love, if anything, we gave them too much grace. And what I mean by that is we understood and we still understand how the oppressive system psychologically effed them up. This pale-faced warped system psychologically shackled them, physically bucked them, right? Socially um, tied their hands from a practice policy perspective. And unfortunately, they turned that resentment on us. And we're having to kind of deal with the remnants of that. I think we gave them too much grace because at the same time, Black women, we were also going through those things. And Black men had the right to vote before we did, right? They had more accessibility to this warped government, the resources than we did. Uh, and even after the 1967 court case, Loving versus Virginia, Black men began to leave us. Once they got permission legally to marry white women, that's exactly what they did. But Black women did not look at that so much as a slap in the face. And I'm proud of that because we could have. Instead, we understood even that, what they were going through. We continued to love on Black men. That's some strength there. That's some strength that kind of carries us into where we are today. So, with that, Black men, you have had grace over the centuries, you've had grace over the decades, and your grace has cost us our self respect, meaning Black women. Your us giving you grace has cost us who we are. It has caused us to be a skeleton, if you will, or a shell of who we were designed to be. And that's the part where we're saying enough is enough. And I get it, Black women. I'm not even being funny. As one, I truly get it. I will say to you, the work that you have put in, you deserve to be treated like the queens that you are, the goddesses that you are. You deserve to have someone that not only loves you, appreciates you, adores you, respects you, can be submissive to you, who encourages you, someone who wants to know you so well that if you tilt your head a certain way, then they know you mean something. If you rub your stomach a certain way, they know that means something. And before you can get to it, they didn't got to it for you. We deserve having a helpmate that wants to learn the inside and outside of us, just like we do to our men, right? Whomever your partner is. Women in particular, we're very uh, observant, um, and we can pick up on things, we sense things, very intuitive. And we deserve our partner to reciprocate. We deserve a partner who uh, appreciates and values us. And I'm going to really go off the script and hurt somebody's feeling when I say this, but it's true. I have found that white men tend to be more catering, empathetic, uh, supportive, encouraging to Black women these days. And statistics are showing, and y'all could correct me, but I'm almost certain that when it comes to like marriages and long term marriages and whatnot, the white man and the Black woman stay together longer in marriage. Now, that should say something to you, Black man. And I'm not even saying to be funny because usually when they get together, it is not no I'm gonna overcome patriarchy kind of deal, or I want a wench, if you will, as a partner. No, 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 not like Black men do. Black men That stuff kind of stems from Mandingo mentality, that now that I can have them, I'm gonna get as many as I can. I'm gonna run through them. That's not a real black man. That's not a spiritually driven, uh, spiritually led, melanated, carbonated brother king. It's not. That's not the mindset that they have. That mindset comes from basically an Uncle Ruckus, um, someone, or Clarence Thomas, uh, black men, black boys, black men children who have been conditioned through a system of oppression to just basically take the place of their white overseer. That's not who we want. And I can speak for black women when I say that. Black men, if that's how your mentality is, stay on over there. In the same reference, you don't have to degrade black women in the process. You don't have to do that to keep brown nosing, white nosing, if you will. You don't have to do that. That's the thing that a lot of black women have against y'all. If y'all want to go and do whatever you're gonna do, fine. Go over there and do what you're gonna do. But don't talk about us. Don't bring us into your mess. The same thing with Dio brothers. If that's who you choose to do and that's what you choose to do it with, we don't. I can speak for heterosexual women because they've talked to me about it. They don't care for you anyway because you're not the ones for them. It's not a slight. That's just not their preference. But what happens is, because y'all on the DL, there's a resentment with the transgender women towards us. They mad at us, and we don't even care about either one of y'all. So there's some discourse that we didn't ask for. Again, that's where the disrespect comes from. Y'all, a lot of different demographics bring them to us, and we're not asking for it. We're trying to live our lives and raise our babies and try to keep them safe from being picked off like sport. Protecting our babies because we can't expect the black man to protect our babies. They've shown that. There's been an increase in the strange fruit, right? There's been an increase in incidents of black boys in particular being unalived behind the hands of privileged white boys, privileged white people, and there's no type of rebellion, collective rebellion coming from black men because it seems like black men, y'all don't care, right? Y'all don't care. So again, there is an importance of black men being safe spaces for black women, and vice versa, black women being safe spaces for black men, without fear of judgment or weaponizing the weakness, our weakness that y'all see as our weakness. It's not. It's a vulnerability because, believe it or not, black men and black women, we have a distinct experience because of the chattel slavery that our ancestors endured and the psychological trauma that was passed down from generation to generation. And a lot of you black men don't understand from a psychological perspective how you have been shackled. When Kanye said that a few years ago, I was one of the few people that agreed with him, and I still agree with him. And what he said was basically black people are more enslaved now than we were when we were in slavery. And he's correct. Back then they had physical shackles. Now, black people, we have mental, emotional, psychological, and spiritual shackles that has prevented us from collectively healing and moving forward as a people to break this pale-faced, warped, oppressive system meant to continue to subjugate people of color. And I tried to be as YouTube friendly as I could with that. Do me a little one or something to let me know you heard that if you understood what I was saying. With that being said, we don't want to necessarily play into what the oppressors want us to do, black men. This is where your leadership comes in. There was a thing called the Moyen Report, and I just maybe how many years ago? 5 or so. was reintroduced to it. And when I tell you everything that was kind of predicted from those white people regarding the black nuclear family, I'd be doggone if black men didn't give them everything they wanted. Now, when I read it, I was like, excuse the language, damn, how you gonna give these white people exactly what they wanted? Like that doesn't make any sense. If anything, if that's the enemy and they know you're gonna act like that, you should do the opposite. It kind of puts me in mind when, and I've seen this on more than one occasion, when a black man, a young black man, he's riding them big old 20s. The music is thumping, just going off, and he gets pulled over, and he's gonna say it's a race thing. Well, you made it a race thing when you blasted your music with something that loud, especially when you know they're looking at you because they probably jealous because you got a nice car and they don't because they on a police pension, right? That's something that black men, you can't blame the system for that, right? Or when you having $2,000 rims on each tire and you're going in the hood in the project, you you should expect to get some kind of pushback from the popo. Am I saying it's right? No, it's not. But in America, white is right. You know that by now. So it's not necessarily pulling a race card. If you know that that's what they're looking for, why give them what they want? And then when you get, pulled over or you get arrested or whatever, you want the sister to come get you. Well, what if she's taking care of the kid and she can't come get you? You mad at her because according to you, she's supposed to be at your dispense, whatever a PRN as needed. What? Like I know somebody. This is a sidebar. I know somebody that was doing made a dumb decision and got arrested. When they got arrested, uh, they had to do some time. They got mad at uh, their significant other because they felt that the significant other was basically supposed to be there and answer every call and write every day kind of deal and really be at their uh, disposal, ignoring the fact that with their uh, immaturity because of their decision financially, they left that woman to take care of them kids by herself. Not only financially, emotionally, psychologically, academically, spiritually. He had the nerve to be mad at her because she had to take care of the family. You understand the mindset of that? That's ridiculous. But that happened. And she's not the only one. As black women, black men, y'all expect black women to just grin and bear it and just deal with your nonsense, right? And it's not about blame. We're talking about behavior, black man. If you want a black woman's behavior to improve regarding you, then the simple thing to do is to improve your own behaviors, to modify your behaviors to where it reflects the inner king in you, not the pauper, not the gesture, what you do. So we had a pretty good time too. I'm really impressed with kind of where we were going with that. But the whole algorithm driven social media, the content that thrives on division, gender wars, and finger pointing, it has been disappointing to see a lot of our black men on cyberspace uh, forget about their values and quality, their values, ethics, and principles. Instead, they would rather feed the beast and incite gender wars. And listen, black women, We ain't trying to be at war with nobody. We just trying to love. But I will say, black women, collectively, we are at war. And it's unfortunate that we're at war with them because we are tired, and you should be. We are tired of, especially black men, blaming black women for everything under the sun when we have no power. And even black men want to take their power or take our power away from us and become our masters, to become our black Andrew Tates and things. And that's where black women, we're saying no mas, we're not doing that anymore, and that's okay. It's a beautiful thing for us to thrive, to be the best that we can be. We don't need anybody. We have enough boys that they can continue to procreate with the girls in our own communities. So we don't need these black men. That's real talk, and that's something I would really encourage us to really start thinking and structuring. We have to now look at the fact that we're very vulnerable, and the black man is not going to quote unquote save you, save us. That the black man, respectfully, is like a freedom statue. He's no better, because just like the freedom statue want to uh, stifle our freedom and our value, our worth. Unfortunately, the black man is doing that too by behavior. And just like we can't trust the popo, we can no longer trust the black man because they're no longer black men. They are black men children, excuse me, penis carrying black men children who are emotional. That's not a good combo. It is not. Not for what black women to feel comfortable, to feel safe, to feel protected. It's not. And you have some black men are very womb oriented with their protection, meaning if they have F you, they want to F you, or you came from them, there's some type of womb connection, like a sister or a mother, then they'll protect you for the most part. Anybody else? No, you're not getting that protection. And that's so sad for me to say, but it's the truth. Back in the day, all you had to do was be black and be a woman, and you would be you would be just by default protected by that black man. You could be on the other side of town, but that black man's gonna make sure ain't shit gonna happen to you on his watch. That's how the community was so much closer, and we really had an understanding of a village raising a child, meaning everyone looks out for each other or for each other. Now, no, black men would rather look out for Becky, and black men are afraid of white people, the white system, right? They can talk about it on cyberspace, but getting together, restructuring, and galvanizing to actually get some things implemented to improve black people's ways of life, no, we don't see it happening too often. But they get on the cyberspace here and talk mad mess about black women instead of having accountability for themselves. Uh, you should get tired of blaming black women. Like that is very feminine. That's a very feminine trait, black man, for you to blame people, especially black women. Like you're the only culture, for the most part, that collectively blame your woman. That pale-face group don't. There are some outliers who have had a bad experience with their personal white women, and so because of that, and no therapy and whatnot, and not healing, they try to come up in here and bash them, right? Even with that, black man, you don't have to follow suit. It's like you want to do everything your oppressor has been doing. That's some Stockholm mess right there. If you've heard of the Stockholm syndrome, if you have not, Google it. But if you have, that's who you are. Black women don't want to be like white women. And before you talk about our weave and the long hair, we had that first. So don't get that messed up. We had it first. They emulated us. Pretty much everything the white woman is doing and has done It's come from us first. So before you form your lips, black man, and say something about that, you would be incorrect. Google it. Okay. So that's kind of where this live is, kind of what we were discussing, what prompted me to this live, because I started early on with Friendship Friday. And then I got to thinking as I was writing, the description about having mutual respect, mutual understanding, and having a value towards one another and whatnot. It got me thinking, like, that ain't the case between us. It ain't the case between black men and black women. That's not accurate. Why is that not accurate? Well, black men tend to blame black women for everything that doesn't go right in their lives, even though the black women don't even know them. They still are to blame because they're black women. That's ridiculous. That's again what Caucasian people do. We don't do that. And we black men, I do say, and I'm gonna round it up by saying, you got to ask yourself what you're bringing to the table, emotionally, financially, and spiritually. Why do you feel like you're the prize? What do you bring to the table? Because y'all want to claim that y'all are the prize, but what are they? What is the gift? Right? What are the gifts? What are black women getting by still dating you or partnering with you? What are they getting? Right? And I mean that sincerely. If anybody's reading this or it does replay, please leave a comment and ask yourself sincerely that question before you write it down. Because honestly, emotionally, it's not stable. Y'all are not stable as a collective. Financially, you're definitely not stable. What have you been building? I'll wait. Before the pandemic happened, you should have had us ready for that pandemic. You should have been monitoring Dr. Umar Johnson for that FDMG school that took I don't know how long to have, and then he still doesn't have a student in there. A decade later, $1 million later, black man, that's on you. Granted, black women, you also contributed to that. Now, don't get it twisted. However, from one black man to another, black men, you should have held them accountable for that. But some of y'all were in support of that and didn't even acknowledge the fact that he was basically grifting everyone. If it was a sister that was getting those types of donations for a building, for a school, y'all would have been on it like white on rice. But because it was a brother that sound articulate, y'all just let that thing slide. And if you had done what you were supposed to do, we would have been ready for the pandemic. And Umar could have taken that on what he was doing in his brick and mortar online. And black children wouldn't have missed a beat. And he would have provided, with the right curriculum, a part of what is it? Africation, like African education, that would have even prepared our young carbonated carbonite brothers and sisters, prince and princesses, with the knowledge of who they are. Like Nas, you remember that song? I know I am. I'm gonna sing it, but I don't sing. Forget my singing. But it's I know I am. No, I know I can. I know I can be what I want to be, and if I work hard at it, I'll be what I want to be. That's B. That's what Umar was representing. And if y'all had done what y'all was supposed to do, black man, then these children would have come out preaching and singing that after the pandemic. They would have been in a better place than they were before the pandemic even happened. But instead, during that time, y'all were more online blaming black women for everything under the sun. And here we are now, 5 years later. No building, no curriculum, $1 million in the hole. He's still collecting donations, and y'all still blaming black women. How did that help us as a group of people? So again, rather than blaming black women, look at yourself in the mirror, and before you start blaming anyone else, look at yourself, hold yourself accountable. All of you, hold yourselves accountable. and ask yourself personally and collectively, what have I done to improve not just the relationships we have with Black women, but what have I done to improve the collectiveness, the collective whole as a Black people? Am I contributing or am I taking away from? Ask yourself those types of questions before you come online and try to degrade Black women. Because truthfully, when you degrade Black women, you are really revealing who you really are or are not. And it really discredits who you think you are. And it kind of reaffirms some of those uh, male hating, male bashing Black women. You're giving them more ammunition to say what they say to Black women who are still loyal to you. Like, why y'all still loyal to him? Look what he does. This is who he is. Why can't y'all believe that? He's showing you who he is. Believe it. This is what y'all do, Black men. Not only that, you make Black women susceptible to divesting, to same-sex relationships, um, to celibacy, who just enjoy once they become celibate. They ain't trying to get with nobody else because they love themselves, kind of like Maya. That's not the reason that she is loving herself. I think that's great. Maya is beautiful. I can't wait to meet her. But I'm saying, Black men, you are basically pushing your Black women away from you. And a lot of the Black women that go to same-sex relationships, they're not even like lesbians, right? But they're so disappointed in y'all that they're like, let's try to see what's going on over here. And sometimes they end up liking it over there because they're being treated with respect. They're being treated with value. And a lot of lesbians, and I've met them, they actually embrace being a step parent and things of that nature. And some of them, to be quite honest, Black men, they're better in that role than you are. One, they're present. Two, they're actively parenting. And financially, they definitely are holding it down. And they treat the mother as the queen that she is. There was a video I saw from a comedian, and she's so funny, and she happens to be a lesbian. I just ran up on her a couple, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. But she's sitting in the subway, and she's talking to a white man, and then they're kind of joking, and he's saying such. They end up talking about um, lesbians who are not lesbians, and she's basically saying to Black men, "Would y'all stop?" Or men in general, but Black men in particular. She's Black. Would y'all stop making it easy for everybody else to take the woman? She says, we don't want them over here. We were being lesbians in peace, but then we have an influx of women with 5 kids, 3 kids that all of a sudden now they want women. She said, that's not the case. They don't want women. They just tired of Black men. They're tired of men. They're tired of them. And she said, y'all, she said, they're tired of y'all not stepping up to the plate and not being the men who you were called to be. So they want to try something else. And so after 5 years, 5 kids later, they say they want to go and be with a woman. And she said, we don't want them. She said, because they're not. They just don't have another choice. And then she started to talk about the fact that, listen, you know, you're not building. You're not building anything. The fact you're not building anything sends them to us too. Because without y'all building or protecting, what good are you? That's what black women are saying. That's why they come to us. She says, listen, again, we don't really. That's not our thing. We just want lesbians who love women, not as an alternative because how many men have disappointed them. That's not what we want. Now she was laughing, but she had a point. She had a valid point, even with I think her name's Priscilla. Princess Priscilla. I can't tell you a few times it came through my excuse me, it came through my time feed because I'm not subscribed to her. Candidly, I don't necessarily agree with a few things that she says. And she takes the empirical research and she uses it for her point, the talking point. So that's not my thing, right? That's just not my thing. But a couple of times that it came through, I listened to a little bit of it, And y'all, that girl, that young lady, that woman had so many women, black women, listening to her every sound, her every vibration. Like they were entranced. That's the word. They were entranced. And they were listening to a lot of the things that she was saying. She was saying it out of context, but if I didn't know, because I have, a background in psychology and I have a master's, but if I didn't have that, to know that what she was saying didn't fly like that, I would have believed her too. And the women that were in her chat, beautiful women, they weren't no unattractive women at all. And I was like, damn, it's like that in my head. And I saw how her channel continued to grow. And it was because Black women became tired and sick and tired of being disappointed by Black men. So went over there for alternative. Now, if Priscilla hadn't got into her ego and things of that nature, listen, she could have made a whole movement. She could have had her own Sappho island, if you will. And those women, I want to say at least, let's say if there was like 100, at least 80 of them would have went on and converted. That's how much she had them convinced by what she was saying. But here's the thing, Black men, if y'all had y'all together, there would have been no type of what is it permeance? There's a crack. It wouldn't have been any kind of crack for Priscilla to get in there. So you can't. And again, then y'all would have blamed like a Priscilla for doing what she does. But respectfully, if you do what you do, then you won't have to worry about anyone. The white man, the white woman, the Black woman, the white system, you got to worry about nothing. If you do what you do, step up to the plate and handle your business. And Black men, your business should be to protect and to provide for every melanated sister and child. Period. Period. They don't have to have some type of uh, what's the word, prerequisite that it's your mama or your sister, your cousin, or somebody. It should be the fact that she's Black. She's of carbonite descent. She's a carbonite woman. That should be the only prerequisite for you to step up and do what you should be doing, which is to protect and to serve. To be honest with you, not the popo. We need y'all to do that. That's what y'all have been conditioned to do. So again, I do challenge y'all in love. I want to shift the dialogue to from what's going wrong to what needs to go right. And I implore you to leave a comment, even with the replay. Please leave a comment, share and subscribe this live because it needs to be discussed. And I look forward to having a healthy dialogue with whomever comes through, respectfully, again, of course. We're so quick to want to blame each other. And if I was cussing out everybody named Mama, more people would be over here. But that's not my thing. I'm not going to lower my standards for a click in the view, especially with one's fear us. They fear one us. They fear us being able to have these kind of conversations where it's about truth and love. It's about not taking things personal, not assuming, and doing the best you can. And right now, I'm in a place where I'm doing the best that I can. And I'm trying my best to uh, create an environment, experience where we can talk about these things freely, and there is mutual respect and admiration and love for each other. Uh, Again, we can agree to disagree. Over here, I want us to learn how to effectively communicate. And effective communication does entail active listening, not just listening to respond, but listening to comprehend, listening to uh, receive, right? And that's hard for some of us to do. I get it because we have our defenses up. But again, black men, you don't have to have your defense up with a black woman. And black women, I understand why your defenses are up with black men, but I can encourage you, if you kind of do what we're talking about, we will find more black men that are really able and showing how they have stepped up to the plate, how they in fact are under the under the covering of protecting and serving you because they know who they are and they know who you are. You are a gift from God. You are a gift from the Creator. So it may sound like I am bashing black men. Black men, write that down in the comment if you think that I am. What I am saying to you is, and I will continue to say this. I said it on my other platform. I'll say it on this one, and continue to say it on this one. Anyone, as black men, I do have higher expectations of you. Realistically, you're not stepping up to those expectations, but it doesn't stop me from expecting that you all will reconcile with your damn selves, recognize who you are, realize who you are, and literally step up to the king that you have been designed to be so that you can claim your kingdom, which includes your queen in all your territory, which includes the dominion over the world. In order for that to happen, black man, you have to heal yourself. And it starts with you. It doesn't start with you blaming black women because we didn't make you that way. We didn't keep you that way. You chose to continue that path. And don't be mad at a black woman who's saying, I'm ready to get off that path. This is not conducive to me. It doesn't work for me. You treating me like the gum at the bottom of my shoe. That doesn't work for me anymore. And you allowing Becky from the trailer park to be treated, you treat her like she's like the best thing since sliced bread, white bread. And I'm supposed to continue to be okay with that? No. And then I'm supposed to open up my arms to you when Becky either calls the cop on you or whatever the case may be, and you come back with your duffel bag. No, you and your duffel bag can stay with Becky. There's nothing wrong with that. Because how many years have black women been subjugated to that or subjected to that, where it don't work out with Becky and then you come back to us? And and with that being said, black man, um, the fact that you're doing that, you don't understand or you don't want to acknowledge how that can take a toll on somebody's psyche after a certain amount of time. Look, I'm proud of black women for continuing to know that we are lovable, that we are wonderful, that we are drops of God. Okay? We are the shit. I'm proud of black women for in the midst of all the rejection that you have received from black men, that it has not stopped you from knowing who you are, from knowing your value. I'm proud of you. And if nobody says it, you're going to hear it over here. We have to deal with, again, the white oppression, white men, white women, white children, black men, and black women, because there's a competition between us that they taught us we should be doing. And of course we should not, because that's not our nature. But we have had a lot on our plates, uh, even after we created this whole civilization. Black women, they turned it back around on us and tried to blame us for everything. The worst thing we did was bore these children, bore the civilization. I'm just keeping it real. That's what we do, right? So don't let anybody or anything make you feel as if you are less than who you are, which is a true goddess. And with that being said, you deserve everything that this world has. You have dominion over all. You can decide what the future of the world is, not men. You, because we have the gift of life. Okay? Once we understand the power that we have as collective Black women, listen, we not gonna give two rats, you know what, about any other demographic and what they are doing, because we're gonna be rebuilding for ourselves and our children. Because it's apparent the Black man is not protecting our children. You know the increase that we've had in our children being unalive and our Black women being unalive through strange fruit, especially in Mississippi, of all places. But that's supposed to be a coincidence. And Black men, I don't see y'all protesting. I don't see y'all doing that. And the reason why y'all ain't doing that is because y'all didn't sleep with those women. Again, y'all have to have some type of intimate connection with a Black woman in order to protect her. That's sad. That's very premature. That's very infantile. But this is how your mindset is. You've been taught to act like that, to act primal. That ain't on Black women. That's why Black women, we have to protect ourselves. Because if we're waiting on you, to be honest with you, you probably sell us to the highest bidder. So we can't depend on you. And Black women, it's okay to say that because they haven't given us a reason to. We're not saying anything crazy. We're not male bashing. We're just telling the truth. And let the truth be told, safety wise, there has been an increase in DV, right? Femicide. Black women, that's not on you. They don't know how to keep their hands to themselves. They don't know how to control their emotions. They're supposed to be emotional, excuse me, they're supposed to be emotionally intelligent, but instead they're emotional. They're emotional. You don't deserve a emotional man child, penis carrying man child that has no control over his community peen. You don't deserve that. And if you think you deserve that, then that's on you. Let's do a one-on-one on my life coaching session. I'll help you understand how you don't deserve that. I'm setting up actually a book club group, if you will, on a few resources that I've introduced to my private clients in my coaching business that I want us to address together collectively on my Discord, where it's kind of private. Uh, and of course, you'd have to get, membership and things of that nature. And we'll talk about that because it's not for everybody, because everybody ain't on this level, and everybody don't need to hear all that because they don't know what to do with it. But Black women, as a Black woman myself, I am now seeing how we can actually heal within our own community. And as women, it's up to us to set the tone of how we want to be treated and what we will tolerate and what we will not tolerate. And we can actually do our own agenda with that. And I'm ready for it. I am so ready for the women to take charge of not just their lives, but our lives collectively. I'm ready for us to set the tone that everybody else can follow. Because let the truth be told, that's what they have been doing since the beginning of time. Even when it comes to fashion and all kinds of stuff, they look at Black women and they emulate us. But the thing about it to everybody else, you can't compete where you don't compare. And there's no other demographic that compares to a Black woman, to a melanated goddess. It's not. It's not a slight. It's just the truth. Why do you think we were selected to bore the first children of this civilization? Why do you think it was us? We can procreate with any demographic. Other women can't do that from other groups. They can't do that. But Black women can. That's not a coincidence, Black women. We are literally drops from the sun. We are stars that are actually walking in existence on this earth. We can manifest any and everything that we set our mind to do. And when we finally learn how to really get along, Black women, yo, it is going to be unprecedented. Our impact is going to be something that is unheard of. And that's not me being idealistic. That's not me, hoping. No, I'm seeing that because for our children, hold on for 1 second. Hold on. Hold on. Hey. Sorry about that, y'all. Oh no, don't end the stream. Hold on. My neighbor was inviting me to come through, so we're gonna see what we can do about that. But I'm trying to see who's that third or fourth person. And whoever you are, you have been following this live, and I appreciate it so much. And I am actually going to skedaddle, and I'm probably going to come back a little bit later. And I gotta say, the fact that I don't have a lot of engagement, it really allows me to. It kind of frees me up to kind of do whatever I want to do and say whatever I want to say, and all of that. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of liking the fact that the chat is not as many. Um, I'm basically getting these hours in without too much pushback. I can relate to that. That works for me. So again, I thank you for your time. I thank you for coming through because you didn't have to. I thank you for participating in some of the discussion. Elbig, I hope you got where you were going safely. Got your phone charged, and just be safe. Just be safe where you're going. And once again, I appreciate you. You all, I appreciate y'all. Those who came through, and some of y'all who are going to look at the replay. I appreciate it. You didn't have to, but you chose to, and that shows me you want to be a part of the experience movement as well. And the experience movement. I'm telling you, we about to do some stuff, y'all. We about to change some lives uh, by first changing our own lives and healing our own selves and being that beacon of hope and of love, truth, authenticity, interconnectedness, cultural awareness, that balance that we're to have, um, and the authenticity. I hope you feel the authenticity over here because what you see is what you're going to get. I'm really proud of myself that I didn't use so many curse words because every so often a damn or hell or something else will come out of my mouth. But that's just who I am. So, but I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to be more, not even politically correct. I'm trying to do better with my language. Okay, let's say it like that. But let's see here. Yeah, I think I've listed everything. I think I summed it up. Make sure. Yeah, I think so. I do. Again, I want to thank you for coming through and participating. And some of you just listened. I appreciate that. Um, y'all kept the discussion respectful. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, y'all. Be good. I love you. I'm heading out to get some ice cream. I don't know what that is, but I'm heading out to get some ice cream and be a part of the my community. So again, I thank y'all for coming through. Thank you for listening to the replay. I thank you for the Cash App. Uh, Listen, I can honestly say I haven't really pushed for the whole donation thing and whatnot. It's one of those, if you give, you give. If you don't, that's on you too. You like and share. I'm good with that. And if you have some, what is called hype points, type it on up. But I do want to say it's very interesting that when it comes to donating and contributing, uh, you all would rather give to platforms that actually encourage the division and the gender war and the finger pointing. And you don't invest in channels like mine where we're actually talking about some good stuff, like helping each other and growing together, uh, and learning how to heal and positive things like that. That's saying something about you, right? That you would rather contribute to the nonsense than contribute to a platform that's really created to help us to be our better selves for each other and collectively. That's not a white establishment issue. That is a you issue that you should check yourself about. And I'm not angry. I'm saying I see you. And I've seen you around various platforms where you give to these men who stir up division and the gender war and the finger pointing. You happily give to them. To be honest with you, that's mammy like. I'm just going to call it what it is. It's like you trying to pay for their approval. I see you. That's showing you have some kind of inadequacy within yourself, that you would rather contribute to them who dog you out and blame you for everything that's wrong in their lives. But over here, you have someone who uplifts Black women. And again, I repeat, I share with you how important we are to the civilization, the evolution, the transformation of our people. And I break it down as to why that's important and how that can happen. And yet, the very ones I'm talking about, I have not received a cash app. That's sad. That's really sad. And I'm not going to lie and say I'm not disappointed. And I think, again, once again, it's not the fact that you do not contribute to this channel from a financial perspective. It's more of the fact that you would rather use your hard earned coins to support penis carrying, emotional men children who enjoy degrading you and bringing people up, men, Black men in particular, to do the same. That's sad. It is disappointing. And again, I see you. I'm not angry. It's just sad because some of you are the very same ones that want to dog out those women who y'all call mammies or pygmishas. And yet you are a pygmisha. You are some of the very ones that want to get wrenches on these emotional, penis carrying men children with community pain. You'd rather contribute to them. Again, I see you. This is the first time I think I've actually said something about it, but I've seen you over the years, and it's sad. You want to give them money to get up on their platforms to for them to allow Black men to come up and dog you out. It makes no sense. That's logically, it just makes no sense. You go into places where you're not welcomed, and yet you contribute to that. It's like you want to be punished, Black women, when you go over there to those platforms. Those platforms in particular I'm discussing are the ones that are about division or gender wars or finger pointing. And their fingers are usually pointed at you, Black women, and you pay for that. And yet, again, some of you didn't even know. Uh, Let me just say, and some of you know that I've had a platform, a channel. Not a lot of you, but some of you. And it's rare that I even see you come and give a like. That's why I shouted out L Boogie, because again, L Boogie is one of those people. She's one of those supportive spiritual being that no matter what she has going on or whatever the case may be, she'll give me a couple minutes if I go live or if I do some video, whatever the case may be. She will take the time to give me a comment or do a like. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if she does a share, but all of those, any of them, is consistent with her. And I can say she is an exception. Uh, Queen, listen, if you hear, I'm definitely not talking about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it's not like that. But I'm just saying there are some that I'm not going to say any names, but I see you, and you would rather stay in the mess. You would want to be messy with them boy girls, because that's what I consider those ones, those black channels, black men channels that are all about thriving on division, gender wars, and finger pointing, specifically at black women. This is what y'all want to feed that. Y'all feed the beast. It's like you're feeding your own demise. That makes no sense. Logically, it makes no sense. I understand why, because that means you lacking something in your personal life that you want their approval, and they broken, which blows my mind. You want the approval of brokenness. I just, we're better than that. We're better than that. So thank you again for coming over and subscribing, sharing, and liking the video. For those who do the replay, I want you to look at all of it or listen to all of it and write down what you think about it. This is kind of what I'm going to be doing. A few days of the week, I'm going to be talking about um, grown-up relationships between men and women. And other days, I'm going to be talking about um, more spiritual conversations because spiritually, that's where we're void, and that leads to a lot of the discourse that I'm discussing between black men and black women. There's a spiritual void that both sides have, that because of their void, they're acting from a place of brokenness and hurt and anger and confusion and resentment and bitterness and being scorned for relationships that happened in the past, and we want to transfer that crap to the next person. And then there becomes a battle because if you are healed, you're not going to bring that shit to me. Excuse my language. I mean, you're not going to allow someone to bring that nonsense to you, right? And if, um, yeah, if you're healed, you're not going to allow anybody to bring that mess to you. You're just not. And so that's kind of where we are. That's where I am. Um, I'm going to be more intentional. I'm going to get more consistent with the little snippets like, Magnificent Monday, Terrific Tuesday, Wonderful Wednesday, Thoughtful Thursday, Fun Day Friday, or Friendship Fight Friday, or Faithful Friday. Uh, Saturday would be could be Sensational Saturday, or it could be a Soothing Saturday. Uh, Sunday can be a Soulful Sunday. It can be a satisfying Sunday. Uh, But anyway, that's kind of what I'm looking at and doing. And also stay tuned. I'm actually going to be completing a little novella, little booklet, if you will, of a short story that's kind of based on real events. I think y'all are going to like it. It's kind of the precursor to another book that I'm creating and developing that should be published and distributed, be able to be published and distributed in September. The goal is to get it by September 11th, so that you all can have a clear understanding of how this world is and how this country is, and certain ideal and certain terms that a lot of people are using uh, politically to confuse us. And I'm breaking those things down in layman's terms that y'all can understand what type of government you have and how you fit into that picture and how it got there and what we can do to get out of it. Um, Sovereignty is one of those. Anybody that knows me, they know I've talked about the melanated exodus too. That what our ancestors did in Wall Street, it was nothing compared to what we have the capability of doing because we have more resources. We have more flexibility. If the white nationalists can do and have been doing it for decades, we can do it too. And we should be focused on more on that as opposed to assimilating to our oppressor system, that system that was designed to keep us subjected to oppression. So again, I'm not gonna get back on it, but I thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a wonderful Friday and stay tuned for more. And until next time, Ashe.